So fucking random, super random. Explaining. What am I gonna explain here? What the fuck? Let's try to explain analog thinking versus. Because I was like about to fucking rant about it in the last video, but I didn't. I controlled myself. So you have in the world you have two types of thinking really. You have like analog thinking and first principle thinking. There's probably a better name for that second one, but let's call it first principle thinking. And so analog thinking is basically the type of thinking which is this way because I say so, or because it is. Like 100% every single one of you watching this right now has gone through a conversation where it ended or it got like fucking stopped at a point, or you were like, what the fuck? At a point where the other person said something and you were like, okay, why? And they were like, because. And you're like, what? They're like, because it is. Because it's that way. Because, porque sí. Because yes. Because of course it's that way. Because there's no way that it couldn't be that way. And they don't give you any meat to the why behind it. You know, there's no real understanding of why it is or why it isn't. And that's like the type of statements that can be fucking brought down so easily, and like not as a type of, oh, I want to win every argument. No, as more as a try to structure your own words and arguments based off first principles. First principle thinking is basically bringing everything to the core, to the most primal aspects of that thing, basically. So it would be bringing an argument or a conversation to a statement of truth that cannot be further questioned, because that's basically what a fucking first principle is. Like a first principle is just that, like a statement of truth that cannot be further questioned. For example, you might be like, what the fuck is that? Give you an example. Like if you fucking fuck, I'll just give you a fucking example. I won't try to fucking explain shit more. I will try, but like later. So for example, the first principle of, I'll give you very simple examples that I am completely stealing off Charlie Morgan, because suck a dick, I don't fucking care. So I don't do this for views. I do this so that it like stays better in my head. You know, obviously you can see because of the fucking quality of this. So you take a discipline, for example, you take the discipline of bath. You take bath, the first principle of bath, or one of the first principles of bath, would be that 1 + 1 = 2. And if you have the first principle of that being anything, every judgment you make on that thing will be wrong. So take the same math example. If your first principle is wrongly judged and misguided, and you have the belief that 1 + 1 is like does not equal 2, but that 1 + 1 = 3, every single calculation that you make after that will be wrong, because you believe that 1 + 1 = 3. So everything else is going to be wrong. Same thing goes with, like, I don't know, the language. For example, the English language, the first principle of the English languages. Like, you'd say vocab, but then it goes, like, you can take it even fucking further. Like, the first principle would be, like, the fucking alphabet. You know? If you have the alphabet wrong, if you're missing letters, or you have more letters for some random reason, people are not going to understand you. They're going to be like, what the fuck are you speaking? You're speaking in tongues. And the way to basically reason in first principles is you want to deconstruct things. Like, you want to deconstruct a conversation or an argument so that you can rebuild or reconstruct upon the base to which you've gotten. So you want to deconstruct it until you get to the first principles, And when you get to the first principles of that thing, you can progress in the conversation forward. So yeah, so there's like 20 people past, to be fair. So yeah, God, what was I talking about? Obviously, first principles. So you want to deconstruct and then reconstruct, or rebuild rather, and you can rebuild your argument, or your version, or your side, on things that you know are facts. So you can be like, oh, okay, so imagine you're having some type of fucking math conundrum. So you go, so you can, okay, stop. You tell the person, okay, stop. So let's go back to the fucking fundamentals. So 1 + 1 is 2, right? And they'll be like, right. So then, by definition, 2 + 2 = 4. And they'll be like, okay, that's fair. And you'll explain the fucking reasoning of that. It's a really simple explanation. If you don't fucking get how you can morph this into like your day-to-day lives or into something that's not math, try it. It doesn't have to be in an argument or a conversation, because maybe some of you don't fucking talk to people in like 3 days. But it can be with whatever. You can try to figure out the first principles of every single thing that you think, see, or hear in your day-to-day life. And if you see yourself not being able to go down to the first principles of something, imagine you're trying to go down to the first principles of, I don't fucking know, philosophy. Fuck me. Like, if you haven't studied philosophy at some extent, it's gonna be pretty hard to like get to the first principles of philosophy. So that's where this second thing comes in, which is something that most people might not want to fucking hear. But it's, at the end of the day, it's properly important to becoming a all-rounded person. Not even a all-rounded man, like an all-rounded person, I believe. So there's a lot of knowledge in the world, and of course you can live life going through the world without knowing things that have happened in the past, and without knowing certain knowledge that has been lost in the past. Not lost, of course, but like you can't get it in your day-to-day life through like reels and shit. You have to go into the deep. The deep being like books and shit, which is not that fucking deep. And so if you want to like learn the first principles of anything, you can like go to the founder of that discipline, of that skill, of that collective, and find out what is the basis of that thing, what holds the entire thing together. And once you find that, you can be like, oh, okay. And you find more things that are built upon the first thing. But most things are built upon one major thing, or one very small thing, you know, like fucking the alphabet might seem fucking irrelevant to like a normal person, like hey, a bunch of fucking like it's like a string. You fucking show the alphabet to somebody and they're like, okay, it's like a string of fucking letters. But there's a lot of fucking, like, you can make so many fucking words, with the alphabet. It's like crazy. It's like completely crazy. But yeah, and shit, sorry. And so this thing is basically the idea of, I say basically way too much, don't I? Fuck it. Is the idea of you have to learn about everything if you want to become a all-rounded person. Of course, specialization, like specializing in something, is fucking like awesome, but you must be able to like grab like extract knowledge from things that you know have happened in the past, like wars, like warfare, like I don't know, fucking leaders in the past, and you can be like, oh, this guy fucking, he did this, and he had this scenario, so I can do this and have this scenario. But well. And this, if you want to fucking look it up, it's called multidisciplinary thinking, which is where you can think based off the bunch of fucking things that you know, which that might be your little basis of psychology, your little basis of fucking the moon landing, on fucking war, on history, on Roman history, on fucking, on everything, on water, chemistry, dude, like, it goes so fucking far. And it's, you don't have to like venture super deep into every single one, you know, like, think about it like this, like, the whole knowledge that you need to know, unless you really want to fucking delve into something, the basic knowledge that you need to know about anything is in the first year textbooks of university of that subject. So let's say you want to fucking learn law. So I would fucking, when I start learning law, because I'm gonna need to learn some fucking amount of law. What the hell? Duh. So, yeah, dude. So, I would go to Harvard website, for example. I'd go to this degree, and I'd go to check what the fuck, or like to this fucking subject, the subject that is guided for this thing, and I'd be like, okay, this first year subject, what the fuck, what are the first books that they fucking give? And you fucking buy them. Or you do something else which people don't fucking know about, which drives me fucking nuts. And I'll make a video about it right now, so fuck you.